Today I will be discussing the functional reach test and modified functional reach test. The functional reach test and modified functional reach test can be used with anyone over 18 years old and is typically used with individuals who have Parkinson's, an SCI, a CVA, vestibular disorders, or with older adults and geriatric care. It assesses balance, functional mobility, and vestibular capabilities. It is an observational assessment and usually only takes about 5 minutes to complete. It falls under the ICF category of activity and does not require any specific training in order to be administered. The equipment needed for the functional reach test is a yardstick or meter stick and a form of adhesive, like tape or Velcro, in order to attach the yardstick to the wall. If the modified functional reach test is being administered, a chair is also necessary. It should be noted that in this scenario, I did not use a yardstick, but instead marked the reach lengths on tape and measured them afterward. These are the instructions for administering the functional reach test.
Hi Liz, so today we are going to be doing the functional reach test. So you are standing perfectly. Just make sure you don't touch the wall. What I'm going to have you do is put your arm at 90 degrees with your hand in a fist. Perfect. And then I'm just going to line you up at the end of our measurement. Perfect. And you need to take something. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to have you do is we're going to do this 3 times. The first time just be a trial run. I'm going to have you reach forward as far as you can. You can bend if you need to, but just make sure that you don't take a step, okay? So we'll measure your first trial. Go ahead for me. Okay. Okay, one more time. Okay, and then your fist back up. And last time. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
These are the instructions for the modified functional reach test. The modified functional reach test is used for those who are unable to stand and is performed while sitting in a chair. It includes 3 separate reaches, one central or forward reach, a right lateral reach, and a left lateral reach. If the client is unable to raise one of their arms, the distance covered by the acromion when leaning forward will be the recorded measurement.
Okay, Liz, so now you're going to work on the modified functional reach test. So it's pretty similar to the functional reach test that we did, except you are sitting, and there'll be 2 other portions that we'll be working on after this first part. So the first part is very similar to the functional reach test. I'm just going to have you sit with your feet flat on the ground. They should be 90 degrees to your leg, and then your knees should be 90 degrees, and then your back should be at 90 degrees with the rest of your body, with your back up against the back of the chair. Perfect. So go ahead and put your arm out at 90 degrees with your hand in a fist. Awesome. And let's see. Okay. So make sure you don't touch the wall. And then I'm going to have you reach as far forward as you can, and then I'll take a mark, and that'll be our trial, and then we'll do it 2 times after that. Okay, so go ahead and reach. Okay. And whenever you're ready, you can reach again. Okay, and then last time. Okay, thank you very much. So this is the second part of the modified functional reach test. So now your back is against the wall. You're going to put your right arm out at 90 degrees with your hand in the fist. I'll line it up with the edge right here. Awesome. And then you're going to reach, instead of you were reaching forward before, you're going to reach to the side as far as you can. Okay, and then same thing as before, we'll have the trial and then the 2 other reaches, okay? So go ahead with your trial. Thank you. Okay, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and do the second reach. Okay, and then your last reach. Okay, perfect, thank you. Okay, so now we're on the last part of the modified functional reach test. It's going to be exactly the same as when you reach with your right arm, except now you're doing it with your left arm. We'll have the 1 trial reach and then the 2 reaches afterwards, okay? So go ahead and Okay, so this will be your trial reach. Go ahead and reach as far as you can. Okay, and then reach number 2 whenever you're ready. And then last reach for me. Perfect. Thank you. You're welcome.
This is Liz's completed scoring sheet. The difference between her reached position and starting position were calculated to find the actual length reached in all 3 trials. The first measurement is always treated as a trial run. The measurements for trials 2 and 3 were then averaged for her final measurements in both the functional reach test and each part of the modified functional reach test. The scores can then be compared to the general population's norms according to the age and sex of the person. Another consideration is the person's fall risk. Those whose average reach measurements are less than 6 inches are considered to be at a high risk for falling, whereas someone with an average between 7 and 10 inches are at a moderate fall risk, and averages greater than 10 inches are at a low fall risk. Because all of Liz's average reach lengths in both the functional reach test and modified functional reach test were above 10 inches, she is considered a low fall risk. The normative data for the functional reach test is available for older adults and geriatric populations, stroke, Parkinson's disease, and vestibular disorder populations. The test-retest reliability for the functional reach test is excellent for older adults and geriatric populations, as well as for those with Parkinson's disease. The modified functional reach test also has excellent test-retest reliability for those who have had a stroke or who have spinal injuries. The inter-rater reliability of the functional reach test is excellent for the older adults and geriatric population, as well as for those who have had a stroke. It is only adequate for those with Parkinson's disease. The functional reach test and modified functional reach test is fairly universal because of its quick and easy administration. It should be noted that the functional reach test may be difficult to perform on individuals who have severe dementia, extreme spinal deformities, and severely restricted upper extremity function. Because there is no official assessment manual or scoring form for this assessment, it can be assumed that this test is not officially available in other languages. However, there is proof that the functional reach test is used in countries outside of the United States. Thanks for watching!